Hello everyone. Right, there's a few things that we're going to cover in this vlog, but the first one, I'm just going to jump straight into it because I'm very excited. It's the autumn box, so I just need to move these fabrics, which I'll come back to in a minute, but you can't see it. This is the box full of autumn garb. I've already taken out some jumpers and the stuff. They are now in my wardrobe. So, summer's over. Sorry guys, but it is. So this is going to go in the summer box. I'm not having my summer mug. I know, such great wrapping. It's time to crack out my autumn mug. Cue goblin giggles. I mean, if something like this isn't going to put you straight in the mood for autumn, I don't know what will. Anyway, so it's bye-bye summer, hello autumn. It's official now because I've cracked out the autumn mug. Right, oh, not just the autumn mug either. Anybody remember this? My autumn bag from last year that I made with that fabric that tried to kill me. So I will have to switch out my summer project bag. That's in the living room. We'll do that later. My autumn bag. And then what else have we got in here? Oh, we've got like the pine cone garland thing that I tend to hang up, and more pine cones and more little toadstools and leaves. Oh yes, we've got this. This was a little pumpkin brooch. As you can see, it never quite made it into becoming a brooch, but it's going to be a brooch or something. Ooh, yeah. Autumn bunting. Because. And then I've got this little tapestry number, which, get off, should belong in here, but it keeps popping out because I didn't do it very well. So I need to do something with that. Got some more leaves. More pine cones. More pine cones. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, and some hedgehogs at the bottom. So there you go. That is the contents of the autumn box. It's pretty much 90% pine cones. And I will find myself another box, gather up all of the summer stuff and stick that back up in the attic because summer has gone. Right, should we go make a brew? Okay, it's a bit dark in here, but I have my first coffee of... It's not the first coffee of autumn, it's the first coffee in this mug. It's not even my first coffee today. Anyway, shall I bring you down a bit? Actually, I've got some items I'm going to show you, so I'm going to spin you around. Okay, so these are some of the items that I've got for the autumn well, actually, having looked at them, some of them are my daughter's. That's a mouse. Those are some pebbles from the beach that we're going to be varnishing at some point. But you know what? Let's just move that, shall we? Here are some things that I've been working on, and you might have seen these. The trouble is, I make so many videos that I forget what I've made where. I think it was the membership video that I made recently where I showed everyone a behind the scenes. I don't know what behind the seeds are, but just a behind the scenes on these items, which are blurry. Can you see them? So they're clay frames, and I'll show you. Basically, I got a little bit bored of the regular embroidery hoops that I usually use. So instead of putting one of my little toadstool embroidery bits, I am very tired, you guys, for a change. Instead of putting one of my little embroidery bits in an embroidery hoop, I thought I would make a frame. God, the lighting is terrible. There you go. You can see that I've basically etched wood grain into the frame. And yeah, I apologise for the lighting, but that is essentially it. And then obviously it's got a little hooky in there, and I'm going to put various little embroidered bits in them. The only thing that I wasn't sure about was whether or not I should varnish them. And having looked at this now, I'm thinking it's a definite yes. Definitely going to varnish them as well. Okay, so that's one of the new things that I've been working on quietly in the background. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some other bits that I am currently experimenting with, I guess, that you might see in the shop soon. Again, you can't really see them. I did not think this through. So yes, little moon ornaments, and the holes that you can't really see very well, I'm going to embroider through them. So they're going to be painted moon ornaments, but with embroidery. And these may take some more playing with, but I have some sunflower stick and stitch designs that I have decided to also try and do the same thing with on these. Ignore the dog. The idea is the same. I'll paint these up, embroider the little snowflakes on them. I'm going to crack on even though my dog's kicking off in the background. There we go. And then I guess sell them as a set of 3 for Christmas, but I'm not sure how they're going to turn out. They could look awful. So they're an experiment at this stage. That's essentially what I've been working on. Okay, so those are the new items that I've been working on for the new shop update. Is that better lighting? Kind of. But yes, I do need to paint the wood grain a little bit darker so that it pops a bit more, and I do like the idea of varnishing them as well. I think I might varnish the moons, not sure. But yes, I alluded to wanting to move into other mediums to try and give my products a little bit of a zhuzh, and that's the medium of choice at the moment. It's keeping things nice and fresh, and I like it. And I didn't realise it, but I just spilled my coffee everywhere. Shall we have a coffee and chat? Yes, let's. Okay, we've come back in here. I was planning to go outside and talk in the garden, but unfortunately my neighbour is outside, so I think they already think that I'm weird enough already. I don't need to be making that any worse by sitting out in my garden talking to a camera. So we're back in the office instead. Bit dark for a change because this is a north-facing office and the sun is now on the other side of the house. So we shall just have to crack on. What I wanted to talk about today was just really to give everybody a bit of a heads up, because I think things are going to change. I know things I think are going to change around here, but I have no idea how or what that's going to look like. Without going into too much detail, because it is kind of personal, we had to pull my daughter out of school last week, so I am now officially homeschooling. Definitely the right decision. She is so much happier, so much more relaxed. But yes, it means that the whole homeschooling part of it takes time. Time that I had previously given to the business. Because I am homeschooling, it means that there's a certain amount of my day that now goes towards that is taken away from the business, which is absolutely fine, but it does mean that I'm going to have less time to do the things. And I was barely keeping up with all of the things before, so oh no. All I will say is that I know that this, like any of my channels, Patreon, and any of the places that I am online, it's not suddenly going to turn into like a parenting vlog or anything like that. That's not the direction I want to go in. But there will be changes, because that's a plate too many. I can't spin any more plates, so something is going to have to go in order to make room for that. I have, over the course of the last year or so, tilted my business. I'm not going to use the word pivot, although I just kind of did. I've made the business something that can withstand this global nonsense that we're all living through at the moment, and something that I genuinely love. And the fact that I've made essentially three different income streams. I've got YouTube, Patreon, and the Handmade, the product side of the business. It's made the biggest difference. And this year I've just finally got my business back to something that feels solid and good and just in line with what I wanted, and now I have to change it again. So there's no easy solution. As I said, I don't really know what my business is going to turn into or how it will change. I'm not even completely certain it will have to change. I would be very surprised if it didn't. So, no easy solution to that one, guys, and I'm afraid I'm having to leave that little story on one hell of a question mark, because I don't know. Some things are gonna have to go. I'm not sure I can afford to let anything go, but something is gonna have to go. I do know it's not going to be the handmade part of the business, because that is the beating heart of it, and if that goes, everything else goes. But the scary thing is that recently I was talking about how sometimes if you feel really, really tired and over it, you can start to find yourself daydreaming about getting a job somewhere else and just not worrying about the whole stress thing of running a business. I don't have that anymore. I can't daydream about that because I need to be home. I need this to work. And just to add a little extra sprinkling to the whole thing, we knew that it was a possibility that this might happen, but we wanted her to start back at her school so that she could try out the new year and what have you. But that meant having to buy her new uniform and new all of the things just in case. And of course, we've spent a small fortune on stuff that she is now no longer going to need. So that's grand. And of course, we now need to buy other stuff to support the homeschooling. So I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to hold a sale because I need to make some money so that I can buy a subscription to a particular educational resource that she's going to need to do her English, maths and science. And there's some books. Luckily there's no uniform. So it's not too much, but I think it would just help a lot because the old wallet is a little bit empty after the whole back to school thing. I think a sale might be the answer, which is why, let's bring you back over there. I've been through my fabric stash so that I can make some basic project bags. They're not going to be embroidered. Like, this is one of the toadstool project bags that I make. I've also got one of the brown tweed ones of these on the go. They're my higher ticket project bags because obviously a lot of them are, as you can see there, hand painted or hand embroidered or both. These are just going to be very basic. I'm going to let the fabric do the talking essentially, just to try and get a little bit of money together very quickly so that I can pay for all of this homeschool gubbins. So we've got this fabric. I love this fabric. I've had this for a few years, but I rarely find the right projects for it. I recently made an embroidered hoop, which said, it's one of my favourite sayings, especially in the darker winter months, which is, don't believe how you feel about your life after 9 p.m. Because I start to get a case of the doom and gloomies at night, and I don't know if anybody else does that, where they start sitting there and just thinking, God, this is crap and this is crap and oh God, what am I doing? And it's always when it's nighttime. And then when the daylight comes back, it's like, oh, actually, it's not that bad. Yeah, my brain is stupid. So I put that on this, and I just thought it worked really well. But I think it will also work really well for a bag, or maybe two. I don't know, we'll see. Then we have some sunflowers. I love that. I think that would be quite nice for this time of year. You know, at this time of year when you go outside, sometimes if you're walking through like an alleyway or just near hedges, you get that thing where cobwebs, you just walk through them and it's just like, that's what my hair is doing today. There's this fabric, which is nice and bright. I'm not sure about this one. It's I like it, but again, it's one of these ones that would you bloody focus, please? There we go. Ooh, nearly had it. The light in here is shocking, and if I turn the light on, everything will go yellow, which is even worse. So yes, this one. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's how bright it is. It's very pretty. I love this fabric so much. Sometimes if I like a fabric so much, I tend to squirrel it away. I'll hoard it away like Gollum. It's my precious. Can only use it for special things. Okay, we've got this fabric, which I think is gorgeous when it will, you know, focus. Very autumnal, darling. And then we've got this one, which is another one. Oh no, it is behaving. There you go. Now this was something I was actually going to save for the summer because I think it's very cottage core, summer cottage garden aesthetic vibes, etc. But it called to me and it's desperate to be used, so there we go, we'll have another one. Oh, also hanging on my mannequin here, we'll have some spooky season ones. That will do, and so the idea is that all of that little lot will just help to not make my finances quite as creaky as they currently are, because oof. But it will be worth it, and the whole homeschooling thing, I'm very nervous. Never done this before. It wasn't on my agenda, to be brutally honest with you. But yes, this homeschooling thing, it'll be worth it because she is just so much happier and calmer and back to the kid that I know and love. Whereas before, she was just a shell of herself. It's not what you want to see as a parent. It's heartbreaking. So yes, fingers crossed this works. And as for the sale, I will talk more about that over on Instagram because I've kind of neglected that over the last few weeks with everything that's been going on. It was just, that was one of the things I had to drop. It was just one thing too many, so I didn't. But I feel that now that the dust is settling, I can return again to that. So yes, if you want to know more about the incoming project bags, follow me over on Instagram on Beech Tree Handmade over there if you fancy it. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up here because I'm very aware that I am quite awkward with this vlog, and the reason being my daughter is in the other room, which makes this very different to what I'm used to, because I'm used to being able to walk around the house and just talk out loud to myself and just not give a second thought. This is weird. This is a skill that I'm going to have to develop if I'm going to keep on making videos, so yeah. Alright, that is the life update. Life has definitely been lifing hard lately, but I feel like now that a decision has been made, we can move forward. So the next video that I rock up with, and hopefully I will be a bit more frequent here now, we shall see, one can hope, it will be back to the crafting goodies. Okay, I feel so awkward. I'm going to go now. See you guys. Bye. Ta-ra.